Hello, this is Paul Nelson with Western Sport Floors, Wyoming Wood Floors, coming to you from Clinton, Montana today. Today we have Mr. Stephen Wright. Stephen, all the way from Southern California.
Yep.
Stephen, tell me what the name of your company was.
Champion Hardwood Floors.
Champion Hardwood Floors. Stephen put a post on Facebook on a group that I'm a member of a couple of years ago, and he just said, I'm of the age where I'm ready to retire. I need somebody to come in and buy my business. Who's interested in buying my business? And I wasn't interested in buying Steve's business, but I did call you up and we talked about it a little bit, didn't we, Steve?
We did.
Because when you have a business to sell, and I think this is important, you have more than just one thing to sell. So one of the things you had to sell was a whole bunch of equipment, right? All the things that it took to install gymnasium floors. But then you had what might be considered blue sky, or a Rolodex, or a customer list, right?
Yep.
And you had been in business, you told me, about 30 years?
33.
You've been in business for 33 years. And presumably, you did a decent job for some people.
I think so. I think we've had customers from 33 years ago still phoning, and then the last 15 years, a lot of school districts that just wouldn't go with anybody else.
And you wouldn't have been in business for 33 years if you hadn't been doing a good job for people.
Right. And it was the customer service, with me being out there on the gym floor with the customers, making sure all the bugs got worked out. Any problems, I would deal with it, keep my guys going, but I'd fix the problem and then go from there.
For sure. So the conversation that we had, because I had purchased a business much like yours, a complete, all-encompassing gymnasium flooring business from an owner that was retiring, and I recognized that the most valuable thing that I bought was not the dusty, dirty old equipment. The most valuable thing I bought was that customer list. And so, and I appreciate you following back up with me. You called me then a couple of years later.
Yep.
And said, hey, remember that conversation we had? It worked out great. So you sold your equipment to one guy.
Very fortunate to have somebody buy it lock, stock, and barrel instead of selling it piece by piece.
For sure. So it was a lot less hassle.
Oh, yeah.
So then there was another contractor, actually a competitor,
Right.
One of your competitors that apparently you had maintained cordial relations with.
Right. And
then at some point you must have given him a phone call.
I did.
So now all you're selling is the account.
Right.
The name of the customer and the quality of work that you had done for that customer in the past.
Right.
And so what did you do to help ensure this was a smooth transaction?
We did it over a few years. His team and my team worked together, and that way the school districts weren't thinking that I was just farming it out to somebody that didn't know what they were doing. The combination of people is what made my customers comfortable. Then it was a real smooth transition to just say, Kevin's been working with us, and now we're going on. That's Kevin Johnson Floors.
So this gentleman that you sold it to, over a period of 2 or 3 years, you started easing him in more and more, his company in, and your company less and less?
Correct.
And then, but he's still paying you a small percentage of these jobs on this existing customer base?
Yes, we came to an agreement on that for sand and finish, just a screen and coat, tear out and install. We've been on a handshake agreement, and I trust the man, and we someday need to talk about how long do we want to do this.
Yeah, that is one component of it. But you also do help to perpetuate this business by making some phone calls.
I do. Yep. And we still get phone calls. So I'll talk to the customer and just go, here's what's going on now. and I'm going to put you in touch with this guy, and I'll be around. I'm home. My phone's still on. It's still the same business line. So if somebody calls, it's, hey, what can we do? Let's help you out.
It really seems like a win-win proposition for both you and the gentleman that bought your company.
Yeah, it did. It helped him and it helped me immensely because I was getting too far on in years to help say if somebody wanted to buy the business, I would need to be on standby to manage and show them how to do it. I was running out of time.
Sure. Well, certainly there's other folks out there that may be getting on in years and thinking about how they would go ahead and transition out of their business. And I'm sure there's other ways. This is just one way.
Yep.
This is the way you did it.
Yep.
And it's been successful for both you and the gentleman that purchased your company.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate.
And that's a key.
Yes, indeed.
So 2 things, or at least 2 things, but stay cordial with your competitors,
Absolutely.
because they may be the buyers of your company someday.
Yep. All the Southern California, and I know a bunch of guys across the U.S., but all the Southern California guys I'm friends with. Hey, guys.
Awesome. Stephen, thank you for coming to Montana.
Thank you for having me.
For Western Sport Floors and Wyoming Wood Floors, this is Paul Nelson. You make it a great day.